Hi, we're going to be doing a strengthening practice today, and we're going to work on really strengthening the core. But yoga works on the muscles that lie against the bone. So we strengthen those muscles, and then the bones are really great and strong. So we do want to do just a few warm-ups, and then we'll get into the strengthening of our abs and other parts of our body. If you tend to do a lot of hiking and biking, then your lower legs are going to be really, really strong, but you really need some strength in your upper body, you need some strength in your core, and you need some flexibility there also. So let's start out with just a nice, quick breathing practice, cat and cow, just to warm up your spine. So lengthening up. You can do Ujjayi breathing. If you don't know it, you can see one of the other prior videos and it explains it. If not, you can breathe in for a count of 4. Let that pause naturally happen. And exhale for a count of 4. And then tuck your toes. Take your hips back. You might need to readjust your legs. Downward facing dog is really about extension. Extension through the arms, extension through the fingers, extension up through the tailbone. And then can you extend and lengthen the front of the body? Then you can extend the legs and let those be long as you haven't rounded the back. And then drop the heels towards the floor. And allow that breath to be smooth and even through your nose. And I recommend that you do that at least 5 more times. So just pause the video for a moment and do that 5 more times. And then come over onto your back. So there's going to be a number of ways to strengthen your core. The easiest way is to put your knees and ankles in alignment, knees in alignment with your hips. You're going to hold your head, and so you want this weight of the head to rest into your hands. And you want to look at the ceiling, and you want to find a spot on the ceiling that you can continue to look at. I want you to lift up, and on the inhalation, drop your elbows, and on your exhale, and on your inhale. But that's one of the easier ones to do, even though it is challenging to just lift up from the chest and not come closer towards the knees. If you've been in any exercise classes in the gym, they're always wanting you to bring your elbows towards your knees. They want you to crunch. I want you to lift up. So if that was too easy, which I'm sure it is for a lot of you, put your hands underneath your hips. Bring your knees in. But for some of you, you can try doing one leg at a time. So we're just hovering the leg above the floor, relaxing your shoulders, lengthening your belly. After a while, you will get shaking. And then, of course, you'll do the other leg. Some of you are going to be strong enough to do both legs. So take your legs up, relax your shoulders. This is all about your core. Very slowly. And that's the trick. You're going to want to really rush, so go very, very slow. And then press through the feet and just hover them there. And just see if you can create some nice, smooth, easy breath through your nose. And then you're going to very, very slowly bring the legs back up. You're going to want to do that at least 6 times. Notice your breath. You want that breath to be smooth. You want it to be even. You want it to be long in the belly. And see if you can hold at least 4 breaths before you slowly bring the legs back up. And then just a little bit movement side to side. Maybe you shake out the arms and the legs for dead bug. And coming back over. So we're going to build some arm strength, some shoulder strength. So having the hands in alignment. Always take that moment to breathe. Coming up into a downward facing dog. But then you're going to bring your elbows towards the floor and back up. Now if you can drop the elbows all the way down and then bring them all the way up, that's great. Now some of you are going to want to drop one and drop the other. Try not to do that. Try to bring them together and back up. And you'll want to do this at least 6 times. And you want to breathe, if you can, nice, long, slow breaths. Yes, you will feel this tomorrow. You will feel this in the backs of your arms. You will feel this in your shoulders. But it will build some upper body strength, which is also really going to be good for you. Long breath. And then let's do a downward facing dog. Now, let's do it on our elbows for dolphin. So, elbows on the floor, palms on the floor. And come on up. See if you can reach the tailbone nice and high. And come on down. Knees wide. And then sitting in Virasana. So some of you will be using a block, a book, whatever you happen to have handy. Sitting on that. And breathe in. Drop the hand behind your head. And again, lengthen long through the body. And drop this hand, bring it around. So I'll just show you from the other side. Maybe bringing the hands together. We want this to be a nice union. So you don't want to pull. Just allow the hands. Now if the hands don't come together, what you do is you put a strap on your back. And when you lift up, you hold onto the strap. You bring your arm around to the strap from both ends. The elbow on top goes up, the elbow on bottom goes down. And you take nice, long, deep breaths in and out. Every practice would be good if it ended up with a twist. And one of the best twists for your upper body bring your knees in. Take your knees towards your elbow as close as you can get it. Extend long through into the opposite arm. Now again, I want you to just gently roll your head. Roll your head as you breathe. Maybe you can look out over the opposite fingertips. Maybe you could stack the knee on top of the knee, stack the hip on top of the hip. And come and do the other side. Always coming back to that breath. And again, you can roll the head very gently from side to side. Every practice should end in Shavasana. There's a whole video on just Shavasana. So, legs wide as your mat, arms out to the side. Essentially melting into the floor. Staying there at least 5 minutes. Using your arm to bring you up to seated. I find it most helpful to sit on the edge of a blanket. Really keeps the hip bones higher than the knees. It's a perfect time for you to do your 10-minute meditation. All these movements just set you up perfectly to do that. Lift up long and tall and breathe. Thanks so much for me sharing this with you and you taking your time to do this practice, and I can't wait to see you in person. Namaste.